It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. All that and more coming up next.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's a gain of 35.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. Murray a give. This is Conner. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Conner going to get it again on second down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This offense has a lot of weapons, but you know they like to look Conner's way down here near the end zone. He's got that rugged running style, and that's a nice job there to hold him to a short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. That's to the right side. He's got Ryman. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Connor. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
How about that stand defensively? The sticks were moving against them. First down after first down was being piled up. They had driven all the way down the field, and then they ran into a wall on 3rd and goal. Nice job regrouping. Very impressive.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. It's Murray. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Zay Jones. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Cardinals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Many would call that a gutsy decision here early on to go for it 4th and goal. There was no hesitation. Field goal unit never sniffed the field.
It was a message, and the message was, I trust you on offense. Go out and make this happen. Go ahead and pick it up. You know what else he said? I trust my defense as well. If they don't get it, I know you're going to hold them. So it's a message to your entire team that you believe in them.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 9-play drive, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Stroud out of the gun here. That's complete. It's Collins. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Stroud. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Stroud looking to throw. That is caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Stroud to throw it. That's caught again by Schultz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Well, they told us that he was just going to be a bear to defend, and usually tight ends are, Charles, but he's no exception to that rule. His 2nd catch of the opening possession, and it gets him a 1st down.
Yeah, and they certainly saw something on his earlier reception. He went back and reported what he found. And one of the things about him, he's like a wide receiver to me, Brandon. He has a great sense of space and understanding where defenders are.
Yeah, we talk all the time, Charles, that it kind of gets cliche about the hands that he has, but really it's the truth. For a tight end, some of the best hands in the game.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back out.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
And there's an offense that didn't panic after getting down early, and with good reason. No better way to silence a home crowd than with a nice, long, sustained drive. And they were able to put one together here and finish with the touchdown run.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Throwing now is Murray. His throw incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with counter. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. From the gun, Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Connor up the middle. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. A give running right is counter. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a 3rd and very long. Here's Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that's football 101, isn't it? Tip your cap to the rookie. He knocked that one away, but he better not relax. They're going to test him all game long.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Option right, here's Stroud. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. As Stroud now to throw. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Stroud. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down and 8. Now it's Mixon running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Stroud. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. An option handoff here to Mixon. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans have taken the lead. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Murray going to throw. That's complete to McBride. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the 1st down. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. This is Connor running right. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now Murray. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw is Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it, and he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with the 1st down. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Throwing now is Stroud. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw now on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
2nd and 10. Stroud working out of the gun. He'll complete this one to Collins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Play action. Stroud now. Another one caught by Collins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
The throwing again is Stroud. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Stroud. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Stephon Diggs from 8 yards out. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Here's Murray. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. To throw, it's Murray. It's caught inside the 25. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Murray now to throw. Screen pass to Connor. Shoves him aside. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. Prater's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Texans offense and running back Joe Mixon set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Second down and 3. Stroud to throw it. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Stroud looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And Stroud now to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stroud will look to throw once more. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was Joe Mixon who had it working in the first half. He found the end zone twice, once on the ground and once in the passing game, as he proved he's anything but a one-dimensional running back.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Stroud. It's complete to Diggs. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here goes Stroud again. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. Mixing up the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. That is caught, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll give it to Mixon. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Another try for Mixon. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Joe Mixon, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stroud dancing to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Now a 2nd and 2. Inside handoff to Nixon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
On the slant, here's Collins. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff to Mixon. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Back to Mixon on first down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. An option handoff here to Mixon. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense, because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with Connor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Murray. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them, because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
To throw is Murray. He'll get that one complete to Connor. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
They run behind center with Connor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 65 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And that's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Phoenix, Arizona's the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming. From the gun, a give to Connor. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Murray. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Murray now. And a completion to Wilson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Texans' 15-yard line.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. To throw, it's Murray. He's got his tight end McBride on the out route. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Trey McBride, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals are able to cut into that deficit. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 66 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
To about the 40-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 7.
Stroud sets up the play action.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. L.J. Collier coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line.
The Cardinals offense and their veteran running back James Conner ready for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now 2nd and 5.
Murray now to throw.
Pass complete there to Harrison.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Murray going to throw.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 49 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Fighting through pressure, muscles it, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Prater for the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Got a man. It's Collins complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now Joe Mixon. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now Mixon. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn comes on. This from 44 yards away. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. Just over 1:40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. From the gun, Murray. He's got Connor. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Here's Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Here now, 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Murray's got to have this one. He's got McBride, and he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing again, Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Just over a minute to go in the football game. 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Murray. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, that's to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.